You and Your Young Child, a program of information and services available for you and your child from prenatal to age 5. You and Your Young Child has been brought to you in part by Minor Family Dentistry and by the Sternberg Museum of Natural History. Minor Family Dentistry would like to bring you the following dental health tip. It's recommended to have a dental checkup no later than your child's first birthday. An adult should brush for a young child and monitor older children's brushing to ensure a good job is done. Flossing should start when teeth are touching. Minor Family Dentistry wishes you good dental health. Families, including children of all ages, are welcome. Minor Family Dentistry, 1010 Downing and Hayes. Find them in the Next Tech directory.
So, you think you have skeletons in your closet? Come to Sternberg Museum, where we let our skeletons out of the closet.
Hello, and welcome to You and Your Young Child, the program devoted to early childhood. My name is Dana Stanton, and I'm the coordinator of the West Central Kansas Smart Start Grant. And with me today is Brandon Hines. Good morning, Brandon.
Good morning, Dana.
Now, first of all, tell us, what organization are you with, and what do you do there?
I'm with the Hayes Public Library, and I'm the Youth Services Librarian.
Okay. Now, summer's over, or it's almost over. How was summer at the library? Are you just beat now?
We're pretty exhausted, but it was a great summer. Right now it's kind of rejuvenation time for us. We had programs for babies all the way up through adults. Specifically for our preschoolers this year, we just had this phenomenal program. We really dissected our age groups this year and had specific programming for the different age groups, and the preschool program was a huge success this year. We had 230 participants in our program, and we have a new online program where people could log their time read with, because they're not going to read their books by themselves. So as parents read books or they come to Storytime and experience a book, they could actually log those. So we had 230 participants this year, and they read 1,500 hours worth of time, and it was just huge. We had our ending party on July 27th. We had prizes. A very generous donor gave us chicken nuggets and mac and cheese, which was huge for the little kids. Yeah. And then afterwards, we had a kinder music program with our friend Kathy Rickey, who does this kinder music program. We've had her before at the library. Just a hugely successful program this year.
Now, at the beginning of the summer, was there a special project that you were able to complete?
Yeah. In my job, I get to work with so many people, and it's one of the best parts of my job. And I work with them in so many capacities, as patrons, as people who are helping us with programs. And one of those people that I met several years ago, her name was Klein, and she came in with our foster grandparent program probably 15 years ago, so way before I was even associated with the library. And every Friday morning, she did this program called Creative Moments, where she would come in, read stories, and do some activities, and there was always a nice snack involved with it. Well, she passed away last fall, and it was a really big loss for us. And in her memory, we received some donations for a project at the library. And we kind of had this need in our Storytime room, the activity room that Carol worked in, for some organization. And it was kind of just a bland room. We have a nice mural, but really functional-wise, it wasn't that great. So we brainstormed ideas, and we came up with this idea to create this Storytime wall. It has 4 different panels. It has 2 giant mirrors. It has a dry erase board, and then I think a magnetic board on there, and then different shelving and little baskets for our storytellers to organize. And we thought this would be a great way to remember Carol. We also received a little bit of support to cover the remaining costs from the Optimist Club, and I want to invite everybody to come down there and check that out. And it was a great thing to do in Carol's memory. It's going to be used by people way into the future. We're really excited about it. So come to the Storytime room and check that out at the library.
That sounds like an awesome project. That sounds like something that she would have greatly approved of.
Yeah, I think her family's really happy with what we did with it also.
Now, summer's over, or almost over, and we're heading into fall. Are there any special activities planned for the fall? I know with you there's something planned.
We have daily activities going on at the library for all ages. Specifically for our preschoolers, we have our Storytime schedule starting up here. I believe it starts the last week in August and runs all the way through December. We did change our times up just a little bit, so I'm going to just spout them out to you real quick. 10 o'clock and 11:15, Monday through Thursdays, are our regular story times, and these are for anybody who probably 18-month through kindergarten is who we invite. If you have a baby, bring them along, and they can participate in whatever capacity they can participate in. And then at 6:30 on Monday evenings, we have one evening story time every week at 6:30 Mondays, just for those families who work or it works better for their schedule. And then we also have our Wednesday morning lap sits, which is for 18 month and under, and I believe that's at 10:45. So if you have a baby that's 18 month and under, we have a really experienced team of storytellers who do a great job.
Now tell me about remote story time. What is that?
A remote story time is basically early literacy outreach. In the past, we have conducted story times throughout the community before my time at the library, and we had to get away from that a few years ago just due to staffing issues and a few other issues that we had with it. And I've always had that idea that we really need to get back out into the community and kind of share what we have. One of the biggest issues with daycares is if they have half a dozen kids, they can't really go anywhere. So we wanted to find a way to get out to them. So this fall, we're going to start up our remote story times where we're actually going back into daycares. And to get set up for that, all you really have to do is give us a call and we'll tell you about the program. And we're going to recycle our storytime programs that we do in the library and then bring them out to the daycares.
That is an awesome program. That sounds wonderful. Now, tell me a little bit more about the 6x6 Early Literacy Initiative.
The 6x6 program is a state program. The state library put this together. Actually, it's Johnson County Public Library has been conducting this program for several years. It's based on the Every Child Ready to Read program, which came out about I think about 2000. And it's a great program. It's a very good structure, but it's kind of geared more towards professionals, and they use different terminology that really wasn't great to introduce to just the average family coming in. And what Johnson County did is they took this program and they made it into something that was just easy to hand over to these people, anybody who comes into the library, so that they could bring it home with them and utilize it. And they broke it up. They added different images, and they just kind of renamed things to make it easier for them. And I actually have a few cards here that demonstrate those, and I'll just briefly run through them. This isn't going to be the whole thing for you, but I just want to quickly introduce these to you. The first one is the print motivation side of it. It's called Have Fun with Books. We do a great job with that at the library. I think that's the easiest one. We're pros at having fun with books. So print motivation is the first one, and then Have Fun with Books. You see that fun picture with the monkey there. He's having a great time. The next one is Look for Letters Everywhere. It's the letter knowledge component, the letter knowledge skill. So this nice peacock has letters all over. There's letters all over the place, and identifying letters is such an important thing in early literacy skills.
Now, I'm going to interrupt you and ask a question. So is this something that the library staff will use with kids that come into the library, or something that goes home with parents?
Both. We are going to incorporate this into our storytime programs, our remote storytime programs. We do have all this stuff printed all over the wall, and then we will also give brochures out so parents can go home and utilize it also.
Now, you have told us about lots of wonderful programs. If someone wants more information, what's your website address?
It's www.hayespublib.org.
Okay. We'll put that on the screen, and a phone number.
The direct line to the Youth Services Desk is 785-625-5916.
And they can ask for Brandon.
That's correct.
All right, Brandon, thank you so much for being on our show today.
Thanks, Dana.
You've been watching You and Your Young Child. Parents, remember, you are your child's first and best teacher. Thank you.
Thanks for watching You and Your Young Child, a program of information and services available for you and your child from prenatal to age 5. You can watch the program weekdays in the noon and 9 o'clock hours. You and Your Young Child has been brought to you in part by Minor Family Dentistry and by the Sternberg Museum of Natural History.